After natural changes, the water from the Mekong River's mouth, flowing into the East Sea, continuously deposits alluvium along the Trevin coastal region. The brackish water zones near the sea crystallize into sources that provide well-known local items. It's a story of people both conquering and adapting to nature to harvest marine resources that bring fame to their homeland. The people of Trevin proudly tell visitors about their famous offshore fish trap village in Dong Hai Commune, Xuyen Hai District. The unique flavor of their dried fish has created an appeal that's kept this fishing village thriving for decades. Our ancestors settled here in 1979. Back then, there were no roads, just kogon grasses and forest. Then they started building roads, got electricity, and more people moved in. Fishing has been our tradition from the past until now. Since the 1990s, the natural fish and shrimp populations have gradually declined, but our people still consider the offshore stake net fishing as a tradition, holding onto it firmly, as if we'd never abandon the profession. Offshore stake net fishing and seafood processing are the two main occupations that have sustained and enriched the generations of coastal fishermen. From the aquatic and marine resources harvested in the East Sea coastal waters, the locals have processed them into many famous products, especially dried shrimp and various dried fish, supplying hundreds of tons to the market each year. In 2009, Zamde, a seafood harvesting and processing village in Dong Hai Commune, Xuyen Hai District, received recognition as a Trevin Provincial Traditional Craft Village. Here, men set up fish traps at sea, and when the traps get damaged, they bring them back for the women to repair. I've been repairing traps for 35 years. Now, I earn about 200,000 dong per day. I know this work because my grandparents and parents did it since I was young. Even now that I'm older, I can still sit and do this work. Life is good. It's like I work every day and earn money this way. Dong Hai is on a rough sea day. While waiting for the tide to go out with the fishermen to check their offshore traps, we're determined to discover the secret behind this region's traditional dried fish flavor. Ms. Nguyen Han explained that in this coastal village, men regularly go to sea to set up the offshore stake nets, while wives sort shrimp and fish at the warehouses or repair the nets. Previously, each month, Ms. Han's husband had to live precariously, facing constant dangers while watching over the offshore stake nets from elevated huts in the middle of the sea. In recent years, with declining fish and shrimp populations, her family has switched to making dried fish to sell to the local traders. like before when he used to set up stake nets in dangerous storms and waves. But now that he's older, we decided he should stay home and work on drying fish instead. This year, we sometimes get just a few kilograms, maybe 2 to 3 kilograms, sometimes 5 to 7 kilograms. The fish have become scarcer, so we process less. First, I process croaker, then tonguefish, elongatus, conger pike eel. Around here, almost every household knows how to season and dry fish. It's a rustic work, familiar to many people and families. The locals said that dried fish became a processed food when fishermen started catching large amounts of seafood. To preserve it for later use, people would slice the fish and dry it under the sun for long-term storage. Over time, processing methods and seasoning techniques have become more diverse, making dried fish flavors more varied. For seasoning, we need MSG sugar, a bit of chili, and some garlic to get that rich flavor that makes good dried fish. I make sure the salt level is just right, not too salty. That's what customers prefer. The secret behind the flavor of dried fish here goes beyond fresh ingredients. There's one special seasoning. The locals believe that chili powder made from chilies, grown in the soil of the Vinh high sandy ridges, not only gives the fish a beautiful color, but also adds a distinctive spicy kick. That's unique to Zamde, Dong Hai dried fish. These special flavors have crystallized over time, with knowledge passed down through generations. Single dried croaker fish is the most popular variety at this craft village. Dried Bombay duck fish commands the highest price at $500,000 dong per kilogram and still has regular customers placing orders. For red-colored split dried fish, it takes about 3 hours. But for whole dried croaker, it needs more than 1 sun cycle, or about 1.5 days of sunlight. Salty dried fish feels heavy and firm when you hold it. If it's lighter, it's less salty, which makes it ideal for eating. Taking advantage of the calm waves, we left Ms. Han's family to join the fishermen, checking their fixed nets from the riverbed. The Trevin's coastal waters are rich in marine resources, yielding high economic value. The natural fishing harvest in the Dong Hai Sea area exceeds 20,000 tons of various seafood species. After 2 hours drifting at the sea, the scene of labor amid the vast waters unfolds before us. The distance between offshore fishing platforms can vary greatly depending on the sea currents, but is typically between 10 and several tens of nautical miles. The net mouth is fixed to the stake poles to catch fish and shrimp that move with the water current. The stake poles are interconnected by strong ropes, which is definitely called stake net rigging. These ropes serve to anchor and stabilize the stake poles, while also forming walkways across the sea surface. To effectively protect the stake nets, we must use new, high-quality stakes. The same goes for ropes. We need to secure them well and use plenty. The stakes must be good quality. If we use old or thin stakes, the water current will break them all. I've been doing this since I was 15 years old. This profession is known for its hardships because I work day and night in the water and sea. It's very cold, not like working in the fields at all. But after doing it for decades, I'm used to it. Now I'm not afraid of anything anymore. All I do is leave for work when the time comes, come in for a meal when I'm hungry, and leave again when the time comes. The success of a fisherman often hinges on their ability to identify the locations where schools of fish and shrimp regularly migrate to place their stake nets. The stake net system are usually placed in deep, fast-flowing water. That's why the trap keepers or platform watchers regularly face dangerous and unpredictable weather conditions. In this profession, if you fall into the sea and get tangled in the stake nets, death is common. The same goes for diving. This work makes it very easy to lose your life. In the watch hut, there's always a radio playing, constantly broadcasting the weather updates. When I hear a storm coming, I run. I tell the stake net owner, I'm getting out of there. No one dares stay out at sea. There are 2 times each month to retrieve of the nets from the bottom of the sea, around the full moon, and on the 30th day of the lunar month. Each fishing period typically lasts 7 to 10 days. High tide means it's time to check the traps. That's why they said, this work is a race against time and waves. Typically, a trap keeper monitors 7 net mouths and is paid by the stake net owner with a share of fish and shrimp catch equivalent to 1.5 to 2 net mouths. A good harvest helps wash away some of the exhaustion for these sea-dwelling folks. Amidst the vast expanse of sea and sky, we're reminded of lines from Da Han's poem, Homeland. The light boat charges like a spirited steed, or slice strongly through the mighty river. The sail spreads wide like the village soul, its white form stretching far to gather wind. The next day, the landing dock bustles, as villagers crowd to welcome boats home. Thanks to heaven, calm seas filled our boats. Those silver-sided fish fresh and sweet. When fishing boats dock, the Dong Hai's coastal village reaches its liveliest moment of the day. Fish and shrimp are sorted and processed immediately. The village women find year-round work here. The fishing profession continues passing down through generations. Over time, this once sparse hamlet has grown into a prosperous craft village. We sisters come here to watch for boats coming in and sort seafood into baskets like this. This has already been sorted. These ones we set aside, but we keep the shrimps. It's 3,000 dong per kilogram, so 10 kilograms would be 30,000 dong. If there's a lot, I can collect a lot. When there's little, I collect around 10 kilograms or less. This is how we make our living here. We survive day by day by collecting these. When there are plenty of fish and shrimp, everyone's happy. It was this abundant, fresh seafood supply that convinced Mr. Duong Tien Hai to leave Cao Ing Gang and choose Zomdae to establish his business, successfully building the Tien Hai dried shrimp and fish brand. I came to Dong Hai in 1992. Saw the village's abundance of fish and shrimp, and started selling retail within the province. In 2008, I expanded the market. From the villagers' products selling at low prices. After processing and packaging with a brand name, the product value doubled. Seeing the good results, I decided to expand further. The government assisted me participate in various trade fairs, including high-quality Vietnamese goods for rural areas, and provincial fairs. Tien Hai's products saw sales increase 3 to 4 times compared to normal. The Tien Hai dried shrimp and fish brand has earned the OCOP certification and recognition as an exemplary rural industrial product from Vinh province. His facility supplies about 10 tons of various products to the market annually. Currently, the products are found in supermarkets, restaurants, and eateries, from Vinh to Vinh Long, Can Tho, and even Ho Chi Minh City. Vinh's Department of Industry and Trade has supported the facility with processing equipment like steam boilers, dryers, and cold storage. This helps ensure food safety while increasing the value of traditional craft products. In our profession, the greatest joy is when customers call back to praise the products, saying they enjoyed eating them, found the prices reasonable, and were satisfied with the quality. We often call to ask customers how they like the product quality, and when they express their appreciation, that's a real pleasure for us as producers. Tien Hai facility strives to maintain production to enhance the value of Vinh's specialty products. Through generations of knowledge transfer, the coastal residents have created products that embody the characteristics of Vinh's land and people. Seafood cuisine has thus become rich and diverse, while maintaining its own subtle, distinctive flavors. This success represents the ongoing effort of people adapting to and conquering nature, enriching both themselves and their homeland.